What's up guys, it's Austin. Welcome to today's vlog. Today I'm going to be talking about different types of hauntings and spirit portals, more known as demon portals or just regular spirit portals that any spirit can go through. With that being said, let's get right into this video. First, what I'm going to start off with is a residual haunting and talk about what that is and my take on it. Residual haunting activity can occur when something traumatic or stressful occurs, such as a murder. Negative energy is literally blasted into the atmosphere, causing the atmosphere to imprint or record the events like a recording tape. So basically the events just play over and over, like this person got killed or this person got shot or whatever. This spirit is just reliving that traumatic time over and over. If you experience a light turning on at a certain time from a spirit, or you're just like, well, I hear footsteps sometimes at 3 a.m. or 2 in the morning every day at this certain time, that could be a residual haunting. And I've actually heard with residual hauntings that it's actually harder to communicate with them because they're not intelligent hauntings. Like, they don't really interact with people, which I thought was really interesting. And I think that's kind of what's going on at the Banff Hotel. It's the most haunted hotel in Canada. There was this bride that died on the staircase and it was a very traumatic death. What happened was her dress brushed up against one of the flames when she was walking down the staircase on her wedding day, and she fell and broke her neck and her dress lit on fire. People have seen her on the stairs, just walking up and down the stairs, and they've seen a veiled figure in the ballroom. So I'm thinking that could probably be a residual haunting. I had a little bit of trouble trying to communicate with her, but I'm going to try again when I go back this year. The entities involved in this residual haunting activity are unaware of their surroundings, so they're not really aware of people. They're kind of just like trapped energy in a way. This is not an intelligent haunting. There is no interaction between you or the entity. Residual haunting activity can also be caused by positive energy blasted into the atmosphere. Many times you have heard ghost stories where people can hear the sounds of a party. They hear music, singing, dancing, laughter, and when they enter the room where they hear the party, there's no one there. Residual haunting activity can be the specters of living beings. One thing that I actually heard today is that buildings or areas that are made of limestone, if there's like running water near railroad tracks, that can like attract paranormal activity and make stuff happen. I have not heard that before. I've heard of water attracting spirits and energy and it just comes together. It makes sense because you can use water when you do a seance to communicate with spirits. So what's to say that running water can't do the same thing, right? It acts as energy. Spirits can use that to, I guess, manifest. So it can basically attract more spirits, paranormal activity, and all that kind of stuff. Next up is a demonic haunting. Demons are entities that never had a mortal human form. If you believe that God and his angels are from the heavens, that would make them extraterrestrial. If Satan and 1 out of 3 of the angels rebelled against God's kingdom, then Satan and 1 out of 3 of the angels that became demons are also extraterrestrial. That is why they never had a mortal human form. Einstein said that E equals mc2, energy can be converted into matter and matter into energy. Demons are pure energy entities. They are described in 3 different ways. 1, angelic, a being of beauty that will manipulate the person to commit something that is sinful or out of the ordinary. 2, horrific and evil looking, which is the most creepiest one. Some people claim they have seen demons that are incredibly hideous to look at. Demons do this for a scare effect. They know what we fear, and this is not their true appearance. 3, black mist, black fog, and black shadows or black smoke. Most demonic hauntings, the occupants claim to be followed by black mist or black fog. They are usually very easy to identify as long as they are not hiding. When it is a demonic haunting, you typically notice a revolting stench similar to rotting flesh. Yeah, I've actually heard of that. When we went to the Witches Fort, that place actually has a lot of demonic activity. In part 4, we actually had the smell of sulfur, or what smelled like rotting flesh. It smelled really bad. They often let loose a growl that sounds like it's coming from everywhere at once. They like to make contact by pushing, shoving, hitting, and even scratching. The whole air in the affected area will feel like fog and the temperature will drastically change, typically becoming warmer. And we also experienced at the Witches Fort, because at 1 minute we were freezing cold and then warm the next. It was the weirdest feeling. These creatures are very strong, unlike human spirits, and they don't mind showing it. That's for sure. We almost got something thrown at us at the Witches Fort. There have been cases where people have been thrown through the air and even attacked. That reminds me of the Conjuring house, where Carolyn Perrin literally got thrown across the room when Ed and Lorraine Warren got called for that haunting at the Conjuring house, and they did a seance and she literally got led levitated in the air and thrown across into the next room, so badly to the point that they thought she could have been dead. Apparently their main goal is to break down a person's free will in order to make way for possession. This can take days, months, or years. I knew possession was like a progression type of thing, like it's not always gonna happen right away, like it can take time, but years? That's insane. That kind of scares me because I've had a demonic haunting for about a year now, so what's it waiting for, you know what I mean? I did like a Ouija board seance not too long ago. It's called Ouija Board Contacts the Demon in My House. I'll put the link right up here and I'll also put it in the description. It said it wants possession, or it wanted to possess and hurt me or whatever. I don't know if it's like waiting for that time, but time is of no concern to them. They have a hatred for mankind that dates back to the days of God and Lucifer. They have lived for millennia and will be here long after we are gone. You will never destroy them. They could go to the next place down the road if they choose, which they could go from your house. If your house is haunted, they could just go to the next house down, basically is what it's saying. That is terrifying to think about. It's like your neighbor comes over like, oh, you know, I had that demonic haunting. Yeah, it's at my house now. Most likely they won't, because distance is not an issue for these creatures. They could go from Maine to California on thought. Demons are capable of changing form right in front of you, from a human form to an inhuman form. So they could literally look like someone you know to being really creepy and demonic looking. They are neither male nor female, but can change to meet their needs. People mostly see demons as black masses standing in doorways or near rooms. Sometimes they're called shadow devils. I've never heard of shadow devils. I've heard of like shadow people though, which is coming up here really quick. If you guys don't know, I'm haunted by the shadow man. I've never seen like black mist or anything with the demonic haunting that I've been experiencing. My haunting has been like pretty crazy for the past year, but it hasn't been like that crazy to where it's like I would get thrown across the room or something, or like black mist would appear on camera or in photos. Yet. Let's hope that doesn't happen. That'd be really cool for you guys to see, but it would be chilling as for me to experience that. Shadow people and shadow creatures activity. This is a type of haunting activity that has no real explanation. They are different from ghosts, obviously. They are usually shapeless, dark masses, mostly seen with your peripheral vision, so almost like demons, basically. They are known to do things that are different from ghosts. They can move between walls. They have no human features. They wear no clothes, except for the Hat Man. God. The Shadow Man. The Shadow Man is known as the Hat Man, if you guys don't know. I've been haunted by the Shadow Man for the past year. This is great. Hooded figure or shadow figures. People who encounter them have a feeling of dread. Clairvoyants that encounter shadow people say they do not feel like they are human and consider them non-human. Shadow people have no discernible mouth, noses, or facial expressions. Some are seen as child-sized dark humanoids. Some people say they seem to be made up of dark smoke or dark steam. At times when they move, they appear to be moving on an invisible track from one place to another, such as a toy train on a small-scale railroad track. They have been seen to hop or what appears to be a strange dance. They are known to stare at the floor. Two common types of shadow people are the Hat Man, which like I said I've experienced him, that looks like he or she is wearing a 1930s fedora hat, and the hooded figure, which looks like the shadow person has a hood over their head. The hood and hat stand out as clothing, but otherwise they are not wearing any clothing at all. They're just like dark figures. There are also reports of shadow animals, such as a shadow in the form of a cat with no discernible mouth, nose, or eyes. So you can't see its eyes, nose, or anything. I guess it's just a dark shadow, that's all it is. Now we're gonna get into portal hauntings. I've heard a lot about these, and I'm gonna tell you guys what I think personally about portal hauntings in a minute, and what I've experienced with those. Portals are thought to be doorways to another world or dimension, in which entities travel through. It's speculated that portals are not limited to one location, region, or limited to sacred ground, like I guess an Indian burial ground or whatever, stuff like that. Typically places that experience a wide array of different types of activity, such as glowing balls of light, odd creatures, strange shapes, or unexplained mists or fog, or suspected to have a portal in which these energies are traveling back and forth. Portals are actually very interesting. I've had a couple friends that have mirrors in their house that face each other, and it's known that when two mirrors face each other, that can, at times, not all the time, act as a spiritual portal, and it can make it easier for spirits to come through. If you do a seance in your bathroom and it has that, you could possibly connect to spirits a lot more easier. As you guys have seen in my 3 a.m. challenges, the bathroom down here and actually upstairs, I haven't played any in the bathroom upstairs, it's mostly down here. It was very easy for me to connect with spirits. Like I'll hear like footsteps knocking sounds. Almost every ritual I've done in that bathroom over there has worked. It's just insane. And also, my EMF reader has actually gone off there. With my haunting of the Shadow Man, I've had my EMF reader go into the yellow by the bathroom multiple times, actually. There was one episode of the Shadow Man where I was ghost hunting in the basement. I'll probably put that link in the description as well. But yeah, that is what I've experienced with portal hauntings. I've actually noticed that some hotels actually have it. If I go somewhere that has that, maybe I could run my EMF reader and see if it actually picks up on anything, because that would be really cool. Okay, so in last week's video, I talked about the dangerous side of the paranormal and ghost hunting alone, and I mentioned using sage to protect yourself. I mentioned all the different kinds of sage. I'll actually put all the different kinds of sage on the screen again, because there are many different kinds. You just light it on fire, and then it starts smoking, and you just run it around the doorways and windows of your house. If you have like a haunting or negative energy, or if you just want to clear the space in general, it doesn't have to be if you have a haunting. It can be for just if you want to clear the air, just negative stuff or whatever. Now, I mentioned in my last video that I have blue and white sage mixed together, and it was for exorcisms. I actually ripped off the tag that was on it last time. I got the dragon's blood sage that I talked about in the last video, which is to be a protective barrier against evil spirits. It actually says on the back, blue sage or grandmother's sage, cleansing of negativity or exorcism. Dragon's blood, heavy protection. It says this on the back. I'll show you guys in a minute. You guys can see that. This bold part right here is where it talks about the exorcism. But yeah, I think I'm going to use this a lot for ghost investigations. I'm still going to use my blue and white sage, but now that I have the dragon's blood sage, I feel like I'm all set, honestly. This is great stuff, and I was so happy that I was able to find it. It's not as red as I thought it would be, like it was in this picture right here. Now, when I went to the store today and got this, they're just like, oh, they must have doused it in dragon's blood because theirs was all red. This one has the red ribbon looking stuff around it. So yeah, it still has the dragon's blood in it. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video about spiritual portals, demonic portals, and all different types of hauntings. I've always wanted to do a video like this. It's really fun doing videos, just informing you guys about ghost hunting. And if you guys want to know more about the paranormal, specifically ghost hunting, just leave a comment down below and I'll probably make a video on it. With that all being said, don't forget to please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.